All shall be well, and all shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. Good morning. I am Li Kynvi. I'm your sabbatical minister. I use they, them, their pronouns. And I have the delicious treat of introducing you and singing together with the folks who have been coming, some of them who have been coming to our Sing Our Souls group on Friday mornings. It's open to anybody. And we're going to start off our service today because Sean is out with knee surgery. So our prelude is going to be a sung prelude. And it's actually the song that we begin every Friday morning with. And it's we've got a thing, an insert, that's what we called it, in your order of service, the white one, that has the lyrics. And so this should be probably the first one. It's called Put Your Roots Down. This is a song about arrival, about gathering, about grounding ourselves. So feel free, all through the service today, feel free to stand when you'd like to, and sit when you'd like to, tap your feet, whatever works for you today, okay? We're not gonna do a lot of standing together, but some people need to stand, and I have to do standing with this song for sure. All right, so it's pretty easy to learn. The little asterisks in there indicate a space. So in music we call that a rest. So the first part goes like this. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? That's it. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? That part again. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? Yeah. And this next part goes like this. 'Cause the sound of the river, try that. 'Cause the sound of the river, yeah, as it moves across the stones. Let's do those two lines together. 'Cause the sound of the river, as it moves across the stones. Same melody is the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. That's it. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? 'Cause the sound of the river, as it moves across the stones, is the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. Two more times. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? 'Cause the sound of the river, as it moves across the stones, is the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. One more time. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. Can you hear what she says when you listen? 'Cause the sound of the river, as it moves across the stones, is the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? So I want to introduce you to this idea that we hold very sacred actually in Sing Our Souls, which is that the moments after the song ends, what I like to call lingering resonance, is when the song does its work. That's actually when it sinks in, when it can affect us. And culturally in the States, in a lot of Western cultures, we have a habit of jumping in and interrupting that. And so we actually don't even really know what it feels like to let it sink in. But I'm going to ask you today to interrupt your own impulse and not move on quickly, and actually see if you can let it. See if you can open to it. Yes? It's a very different kind of way to end a song. So clapping during a song, all for it, right? Applause is not where we're at. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. I thank you, singers. You can have a seat now. Thanks.
The 3 bells at the start of worship invite you to settle into your body more fully, remind you that you are whole, you belong wholly upon this earth, and you are held in the love that holds us all in tenderness. With each bell, I invite you to breathe in and release, or close your eyes and then open them. The first bell is for you. The second is for your loved ones. And the third is for the world. Now please stand as you are able, and let's sing Come Come, Whoever You Are, number 188 in the grey hymn.
Okay, we're going to do this with the descant. I don't know how many people know the descant, but Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi wrote a very important line that says, "Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times." And Reverend Unger did include it in her original, but somehow it got left out. And it just goes, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. You probably heard it, though you've broken your vows 1,000. It can go through the whole thing. Anybody can come back to that at any time. Okay, 1,000 times. One more time, and we'll commend your vows 1,000 times. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. One time. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, yet again come. Come, yet again come.
If you are with us remotely, I invite you to get a candle and light it as we light our common chalice in the meeting house. Loraine Scampini will light the chalice this morning.
I'm lighting the chalice today for the joy of singing together. This is called Friday Mornings, and it's my experience of Friday mornings. I unlock the door and take in the silence. The room is cold, but I feel the warmth of this community. I begin to create the space. A space to breathe, a space to feel, a space to sing. As other tender hearts come through the door, the space is filled with warmth. With smiles and greetings and hugs, we take our place in the circle. We shed the outside world for a moment. We settle into our skin. The singing begins. It's simple, it's deep, it's love swirling around as notes in the air, as our spirits move us from one song to the next. All voices welcome, all singing hearts welcome, all love welcome.
Thank you, Loraine. Thank you. So I invite you to join us on Spirit of Life. It's going to be a little lower than it usually is, because I'm me. And I sing a little lower. We sing it in Spanish and then in English. The words are in your order of service. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí, y al corazón, cántale tu compasión, sopla volar, sube en la mar, hasta brillar la justicia de la vida. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life shape of justice, moves Holy Ghost, wings set me free, Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Yeah. So we're going to invite our kiddos up, and anybody else who would like to come sit up front. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, the peace candle.
Yeah, I don't think we forgot that.
Thank you, Julie.
I'd like to invite Caroline Walters to come up and light the peace candle today. Each Sunday morning, we light a peace candle to remind us that we live in a time of war and that there is violence in so many places in our world. May everyone around the globe feel safe and strong and free and loved. We're going to light a metaphorical peace candle this morning.
it's the Wix note.
Let's get a different one.
Much for peace.
I think this is a brand new peace candle, and it's a good metaphor because a new peace agreement is very hard to broker. We can talk to President Carter about that, keeping him in my heart. He's entered hospice services. So let's invite the kiddos up. Thanks for your patience, Coraline. All right, so your scribing skills. Yeah. All right. So we don't have a book today because we're going to actually kind of write a song together. Has anybody ever written a song? Yeah? Cool. We've written a song here, actually. You've tried to? Yeah. I suppose I should use the mic. All right.
Do you need a stool?
Nah, I'm going to sit down here, I think. We're good. Thanks. So this song is called a zipper song. What's a zipper song? It could be a song about fastening your zipper. Yeah, Coraline.
Maybe one that goes up and down.
It could be one that goes up and down. Sure, that makes sense. One that has a lot of Z sounds. In this case, it's about a song where if you just zip one little new word in, it changes the meaning of the song. So this is a zipper song about creation. What's creation? Creation. Yeah.
Like making something new.
Yeah, exactly. It has so many meanings. Making stuff, right? Inventing something, that's your creation. Like, if you cook something, you'd be like, wow, what a creation. Yeah. And it also can refer to like just life and earth and like all of creation. You ever heard that phrase? All of creation? Yeah. So the world and all the living stuff in the universe. This song also has the phrase, for the love of. And that's kind of an interesting one. So, for the love of is like to do something just because you love doing it. Or to love something just because you love it, not for any other reason. So, like, I just started to learn how to play the cello. It is so hard, y'all. I think I've taken 6 lessons. And somebody asked me why, and I just said, for the love of the cello. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it so I can perform or make money or whatever. I'm just doing it for the love of the thing. So this song talks about for the love of creation. So things that we love just because they're part of creation and they're part of what we invent. All right? So we're going to add some words to our song. Maybe each of you can add one word. So something that you love that's part of creation. Just for the love of it. Anything that comes to mind? Yeah, Abby.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. There we go. Julie Anders is writing for us. Hot dogs. Hot dog. Yeah, Zoe.
Reading.
Reading. A variety of words. Hot dogs, reading. Yeah.
Seagulls. Seagulls flying.
Seagulls. Okay. Coraline. People. Babies. Aww. Babies. Yeah.
Storytelling.
Storytelling. Storytelling. Yeah. Thank you, Santiago. Sophia, yeah.
Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day. Okay, cool. So now we're just going to put them all in the song. All right. So this is how a zipper song is kind of magic because it makes a whole different meaning when you sing about hot dogs and then you sing about babies. I guess magic, right? You change one word. And you got yourself a new thing. All right, so it goes like this. Why do we love, and then we put our word in. And then that repeats over and over again. So let's try it with hot dogs first. Why do we love hot dogs? Why do we love hot dogs? Why do we love hot dogs? Oh, why do we love hot dogs? And you can sing that whether or not you're a vegan. You know, it's fine. We're singing it. And then there's a chorus part, which doesn't change every time. And it just says the words, for the love of creation. Okay? For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Reading. Why do we love reading? Why do we love reading? Why do we love reading? Oh, why do we love reading? For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. I'm not going to run into the candle, I promise. Why do we love seagulls? I love it when somebody has my back, though. Thank you, Julie. Why do we love seagulls? Why do we love seagulls? Why do we love seagulls? Oh, why do we love seagulls? Just for the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Babies. I think we should sing this a little softer because the babies might not want our loud voices. Should we try that? Why do we love babies? Why do we love babies? Why do we love babies? Oh, why do we love babies? For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Maybe we should do walking laps around the church. Storytelling. Why do we love storytelling? Why do we love storytelling? Why do we love storytelling? Oh, why do we love storytelling? For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Valentine's Day. Why do we love Valentine's Day? Why do we love Valentine's Day? Why do we love Valentine's Day? Oh, why do we love Valentine's Day? For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Just the chorus. For the love of creation. For the love of creation. For the love, for the love, for the love, for the love, for the love of creation. Yeah, thank you for writing that. Was it fun to hear your words sung? I always get a kick out of that. Yeah. So my friend Carol Beth Thomas is here visiting today, and she wrote a little song about feeling grateful. And we're going to learn it and sing you all to your class downstairs. Cynthia Williams isn't here today. She's not feeling so good. But I believe there are all sorts of other responsible grown-ups who will be bringing you down. I don't know who they are exactly. But, oh, Jackie Waters, I'm sure. And they're gonna, I think you guys are going to have a Valentine's Day party. I think that's what's on the docket. But Carol Beth's going to teach us this song. And people should feel free to stand if you want. You want this? Sure. Hi. I'm so glad to be here with real people. I spend a lot of time behind the Zoom screen still, and it's just really lovely to see you all and feel you all and sing with you all. So I hope you will sing this song. It's really simple. I gotta move this back because I stomp and move a lot. So this song was born while walking in the woods, which I do a lot of with my big dogs every day. The song is called Every Day. So this song kind of just popped into my brain on my 60th birthday on a glorious spring morning when everything was starting to appear in mid-April, and it was just beautiful. So I encourage you to join in. It's very simple, and it is a walking song. Yeah. So if you want to stand up, or anybody wants to, feel free to, or just stomp your feet or whatever. But it's meant to be a song done while walking. And it has that feeling very much, so here we go. So the first part is every day, a lot of times. It goes like this. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. That's it. We do that a bunch of times. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Let's do it 2 more times. Every day, every day, every day, every day. 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 Excellent. So the next part is, I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. That's it. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. So 2 more. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. 1 more time. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. Here we go. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. 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 I will give thanks. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. Let's do that 1 more time. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. I will give thanks. I will be grateful, for I am so very blessed. Every day, every day, every day, every day. 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 Yeah. Thank you. The songs and how they move us. So we're going to add this little moment for beloved community during our sabbatical time services. And it's going to be, I'll tell you today what the focus of this little moment is. Let me start by just saying that Unitarian Universalism, for those who don't know, started in 1961 when 2 faith traditions, the Unitarians and the Universalists, merged to form Unitarian Universalism. And we made a constitution at that time to bring these 2 traditions together. And in 1985, so 25 years later, we adopted what we now know as our 7 principles. And a lot has changed in the world in the last 40 years, since 1985. And Unitarian Universalists across the country have been feeling moved to kind of update, right, these principles, because it's a living document. And for the last 10 years or so, there's been groups increasing in size working on an 8th principle. And this principle was created about 10 years ago, and congregations have been talking about it and debating it and voting on it, adopting it for their individual congregation. And we're starting now to do a little bit more of the congregation-wide talk about what is the 8th principle. And are we going to bring ourselves into alignment with it? Are we going to vote to adopt it here? So this is about what I'm going to do today. It's just going to be a couple minutes on Sundays, and then I'll write about it a little bit in the newsletter. But here, let me read it for you. We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote journeying toward spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions. Okay? So the focus, we'll talk about what the different focuses of the eighth principle, but the idea of journeying towards spiritual wholeness by building a beloved community, and that work being accomplished by dismantling systems of oppression, okay, particularly racism. So we're just starting to talk about it as a community. The racial justice team has been working with the eighth principle for a number of years already in our congregation. Okay. All right, and Mark is already, he's ready to sign on the dotted line over there. When I was planning this service, I forgot that it wasn't supposed to be 2.5 hours long, and so you'll see a number of songs in your insert that we're not going to be able to do today. Somehow I thought we'd have time for 3 sung prayers, and in fact we will do 1. And what we're going to do is a simplified version, a quite simplified version of India Ari's beautiful song, I Am Light. So I'll invite our singers up to join me. He's on it. My God. You are welcome to join as you wish, or to just take it in. blessed spirit of persistent life and love. We rest in the sanctuary of this strong community, just as we are. We soften the body so the heart has a chance to open. We quiet the mind so the soul has a chance to communicate. Following massive earthquakes, there is humanitarian crisis, there is tragedy in Turkey, and especially in war-torn and isolated Syria. There is yet another heartbreaking school shooting. There is so much. May we never lose the ability to be powerfully moved by the pain in our path. May this wounded, love-soaked world feed and nourish the survivors somehow. May they know moments of comfort. And close to home, we are holding in love Karen Ankes and her loved ones as they grieve the sudden tragic death of Karen's godson, Zachary. He was only 31. We're holding Dawn Torgerson, whose mother died last week. We're sending our love to Doris, to Jerry, to Diane W., to all our beloveds who live with advanced illness. We send prayers to all those in the throes of addictions and their loved ones. And we send our prayers of healing to the knees of Sean and Denise and Cindy. We remember Karen Amos on her 45th birthday. And we hold Aaliyah and Alan in our love and our wishes for safe travels and deep rest. So let's enter into the silence, singing at the center of our beings for a time. And now for a change of pace. Beloveds, we're going to need to talk Turkey a little bit about money in the next few months because we all really, really want this amazing place to keep on moving forward. And to do that, we're going to have to fund it until the end of the church year and through next one. So in the spirit of giving ourselves a little leeway here in sabbatical time, and in the spirit of learning and experimentation, I'm going to try some different approaches to stewardship over the next few weeks. I'm just warming up now, so I've got a joke for you. Ready? 2 churchgoers were marooned on an island. One of them paced back and forth, worried and scared. The other one sat back, sunning himself. The first one said to the second, "Hello? Aren't you afraid we're about to die?" "Nah," said the second one. "I make $10,000 a week and I tithe faithfully to my church." Tithing is traditionally 10% of your income. It is Stewardship Month at my church right now. My minister will find us. Not bad, right? We need to bring about $28,375.01 a month in to meet our budget, and we're falling kind of pretty significantly short of that. So, any and all offerings will be gratefully received. We're going to sing our sabbatical theme song, All Shall Be Well, while we're doing the offertory, and I believe we have ushers heading to the front, and Julie's got the boxes. No, it's good. Here. Yeah, you go wherever you want. So if you're wondering whether to sing or give money, the answer is money. All right. All shall be well. Why don't you stand, yeah. I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know about pain? She said, all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about cruelty? I said, Julian, it's too much, it brought me to my knees. She said, all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. She said, no one does not know about sorrow, and no one does not know about pain. She said, no one does not know about cruelty. She said, I know it's too much. It brought me to my knees, where I heard, all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. I said, Julian, you are holding my hand. I said, Julian, you are holding my hand. She said, dear one, do you not know about tenderness? She said, dear one, do you not know there's love that never ends? And so, all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. And so all shall be well, and all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. So a year ago, our director of music ministries, Sean McCann, had a knee replacement surgery, and he was out for a couple weeks. So I hijacked the music of one of the services, just like I'm doing today, as Sean gets his other knee replaced. He's going to be a bionic piano player. And I was thinking it was too bad for me that he only had 2 knees. A year ago, we were so sad to be stuck back on Zoom. We were sad to be at the 2nd anniversary of the pandemic. We were sad to still not being singing together indoors. And I wanted to talk about the ways that we could still access connection through singing, even when we had to be alone, connection to ourself, a connection to what's beyond us. And I wanted to talk a little bit about bringing a more intentional way of using singing, for people who are interested, bringing that into our lives. And also about the idea that all voices get to sing. Singing is not a commodity, it's a human right. And I mentioned that if folks were interested, we could create a small group to explore singing as a spiritual practice. So that happened and evolved into an open to anyone group that sings together on Friday mornings, both in person and online. So we do a hybrid model. And that's where these folks have all met each other, really. We're building relationships with each other, of course, like we do in any small group. But also each one of us is building our relationship with music and with singing itself and with these songs. And when we invest time and energy in any relationship in our lives, then we're in turn nurtured by that relationship. So maybe it's your loved ones, your pets, or your own spiritual journey. Maybe it's this church community or another institution. When we invest in what moves us, when we invest in what helps us feel more alive and awake and joyful and connected, then that relationship becomes a primary source of support when we need it. And music is like that. We can invest in building our relationship with our voice, with our singing voice, with our humming voice, with whatever comes out of your mouth voice. You already have some kind of relationship with music. So who here has a song that you can think of that you loved when you were a teenager or a young adult, and when you hear it now, it brings you like joy and sweet memories? Oh yeah. Yeah. Music is deeply linked with memory and with emotion. There's a BBC radio show, I don't know if anybody's listened, it's called Desert Island Discs. And in the show, the premise is that famous people pick the 8 songs that they would take to a desert island as the only music they had access to for the rest of their lives. And then they talk about their connection with each of the songs. This show aired in 1951, and it is still going. They just had writer David Sedaris on last week.
60 years ago.
I don't know too many radio shows that have gone with the same idea for 72 years and counting. It's an idea, it's a deep idea. And I also wonder if anybody else here is surprised occasionally that you can remember all of the lyrics to a song that you have not heard in years, decades sometimes. Anybody surprised by that sometimes? Yeah. As a music therapist, I see this all the time. Part of the neurological wonder of songs is that some of them are sticky. So there is no single musical center of our brain. There's dozens of networks in actually every brain region. It's the most whole brain activity that we know of, live music. And we have also different kinds of memory. And just briefly, if our neurological system is high functioning, the kind of memory that we can access the most easily with almost no effort is motor memory. Okay? So if we're lucky, we don't have to stand there and go, how do I walk again? We can't remember the name of the neighbor, but how do I walk or how do I brush my teeth? That's not a thing that we have to work with if we're lucky, right? How do I feed myself? It's accessible, right? That kind of memory, that's motor memory. So part of what happens when we sing is that we bring the words and the notes into our motor memory, where they become accessible with almost no effort. Same with a prayer you might have learned as a kid that you say over and over and over again. It's in your motor memory. There's also the piece that rhythm and rhyme give our brains a cadence. They give it something to hang its hat on, essentially. It makes everything easier to remember. And then, of course, if we're repeatedly exposed to anything, it becomes easier to remember. And when we remember a song, if we had strong emotion connected to the song, all of the emotion comes back with the song. I don't know if anyone else has a song that if you hear even sometimes the beginning of it, it's a matter of moments for me anyway, before I can feel the sting of tears as they enter my eyes. I've got a lot of songs that bring that. So we have all these ways that music and memory are deeply linked, and it's easy to see, right? It's easy to hear, it's easy to understand. But memory can also be super annoying. I mean, 90% of people say that they get earworms at least once a week, right? So this is a song stuck in your head that you don't want there, and you can't get it out. Does it drive you nuts? As a music therapist, I really think that's one of our occupational hazards. I have been arguing for hazard pay for a number of years, but I haven't gotten it yet. If anybody's a lawyer, you let me know. But the thing with singing as a spiritual practice is about choosing what music we want to get stuck in our heads. Choosing the songs that we want to get stuck in our hearts. Inserting songs that we want to move toward. Songs that help us connect with ourselves. Songs that help us connect with each other. Songs that help us connect with divinity or remember something that's important to us. So finding a song that you want to move toward is itself a spiritual and emotional process that brings us closer to ourselves. And the more we can heal and connect here, the more we can contribute to our collective efforts toward learning how to human together. Yes? At least in my observation, humans have the capacity to behave in like the whole astounding range from deeply compassionate to some sort of combination of like hot weather, sweat-soaked laundry before you wash it, pretty stinky, right? And maybe some like muddy footprints on the carpet, and some of them have mud caked in for years, and some of them are still wet from this morning. Humans have the capacity to behave in really awful ways. So we all need a little help with our processes, right? With turning back toward each other, with opening. Allie Halpert's song, Loosen, Loosen, is one of the songs that people use, I find, people use for this process of opening ourselves, of remembering what we believe is important. And people get a fast connection with this song. I taught it in outside church, so that was like a year and a half ago. And a week later, Jackie Waters and all three of her kids sang it back to me. Lisa Martino had shoulder surgery a couple of weeks ago, had a 30-minute MRI, during which, you know how MRIs are in the tube, and you're supposed to be still for 30 minutes. This is very hard. So she told me that she audiated this song, Loosen, Loosen, in her head to stay calm. And at some point must have started singing it out loud because they were like, can you sing quieter? We don't want it to move your body in that big metal tube. But then again, went to Loosen, Loosen as a way to stay calm before a painful nerve block procedure in the neck. And then when the pain started, humming and squeezing the song, squeezing the nurse's hand along with the rhythm of the song. And what Lisa said to me was that it was a centering experience. Having the song with her as a companion because she built a relationship with it. It was a centering experience. Everything around her was still in her awareness, but there was a space in the middle, a space in the center where she was able to be during the procedures and stay calm. So I'm going to invite us to sing it together now, and we'll leave that lingering resonance pause when it ends. It's in your insert. Again, we're singing half the songs that I thought we would, so that's good. Let's start up. It goes like this. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. So that part again. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath. Holy breath and holy name. I find it calming and also a sort of good reminder that we simply can't hold the troubles of the world. We have to let them into our bodies and back out again. We have to let it flow through us and not get stuck. And the beautiful prayer that is the second half of that song is open and vulnerable acknowledgement that we have pain of all sorts and that we're asking for help. The other one we'll do here together is Gentle Heart, and it's another sweet and powerful little song. And we sing it, and we can gentle our own hearts, souls, and minds. And it leans into this message that life is change, love remains. And I'm sort of stealthily introducing it to you here today because we might have just a few changes afoot. Beginning of sabbatical with Sean out. So Gentle Heart is an invitation to remember our spacious grace and to practice it. Yeah, it goes like this. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Just those notes. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. That part again. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Listen here. Life is changed, love remains all the time, time. Life is changed, love remains all the time, time. And again. Life is changed, love remains all the time, time. Life is changed, love remains all the time, time. Here's the third part. From the eagle in the sky to the fish in the sea to the great grandparents watching over me. From the eagle. From the eagle in the sky to the fish in the sea to the great grandparents watching over me. So these three parts work at the same time. I'm just going to sing the whole thing through twice, and you can pick a part and stay on it. You can do whatever you want. We'll see what happens. Yes. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Life has changed, love remains all the time, time. Life has changed, love remains all the time, time. From the eagle in the sky to the fish in the sea, life has changed, love remains watching over me. Gentle heart, gentle fish in the sea, gentle rain, gentle sail, gentle mind, mind. Life has changed, love remains all the time, time. Life has changed, love remains all the time, time. From the eagle in the sky to the fish in the sea to the great grandparents watching over me. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, let's gather here. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. Gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, mind. All right, singers, you can sit. Thank you for standing. Change is hard. Maybe those 2 lines can help support you if change seems unsettling. Life is change, love remains all the time. Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition of spirituality and wisdom. We draw theological inspiration from all sorts of sources, diverse sources including all of the world's religions, prophetic people, humanist traditions and science, poetry, direct personal experience. And in a very real sense, music has long been my primary sacred text, both music with and without words. Around New Year, we invited people to choose a word that you'd like to embrace this year and to send them, if you wanted to our church office. And I was reading them because Keith Dawson made us a wonderful word cloud. It's in the newsletter this week. And so many of them, I realized, I have heard mentioned by folks in relation to coming to know singing as a spiritual practice. The top 3 words that this congregation chose the most are all words that I've heard about singing. Deeper, live, and thrive. And here are just some of the others that resonated really for me with accessing voice and singing together intentionally. Joy, light, fun, and shine. Cherish, nurture, breathe, centering. Happiness, connection, vitality, and touch. So a couple of the folks who come sing on Friday mornings wrote reflections that I have permission to share. And I'll just take a moment to remind you that if this service isn't your cup of tea, maybe next week will be, and you can be gracious and offer it to your neighbor, because maybe it's their cup of tea, yes? These are reflections from folks who happen to find their favorite cup of tea here singing together on Friday mornings. This is from Sue Lutz, who is snowbirding somewhere warm, I forget where. Sing Our Souls has been an absolute highlight for me this past year. Those of us, including myself, who may have thought we couldn't sing well, find that we are comfortable and even confident with our singing. There is literally no evaluation of our voices. There's a sense of freedom, excitement, and joy in the group. We started a tradition of dancing for our last song, which is called This Joy. Sometimes with other songs, we can't help but stand up and dance. And at the end, after dancing, we often don't want to leave this joyful experience behind. And then one other person wrote some reflections that I would like to share. I have our songs in my head all the time now. They seem to be acting as a guide. I woke up this morning singing For the Love of Creation, which is the song we just sang with the kids. I sang, why do we love dancing, and why do we love singing, and all the rest, and then I tried it with, why do we love anger? Amazing. For the love of creation changed my experience of anger. Maybe like cold air under a bird's feathers warms the bird. Could it be that that's how we soften toward our enemies? Why do we love anger? For the love of creation. For the love of creation, she wrote, seems like everything to me right now. Seems ultimately like the answer to why anything, even disaster when our hearts break open. And if I can remember, gentle heart, gentle soul, gentle mind, during a discussion when I really want to argue, I find myself stopping and actually really not needing to argue, but needing to listen. feel like I'm in the middle of a phenomenon. My dreams have become very vivid, she wrote. I feel vulnerable. My senses seem to swoop up in joy and sorrow at the same time. Sometimes I get lightheaded and I feel faint in the middle of it. Thank you for being a witness to me just now. So I will say in turn, thank you all, thank you here today for letting me nourish you if I have, and for being my nourishment, for being the songs that I want stuck in my head and heart, the songs that I would bring with me to the desert island, the songs that move me and move me forward. Life has changed, love remains all the time. So of course we have to end with this joy. It is in your order of service, in the insert. It is another zipper song, so you can make it your own. You can try this at home. And I believe we have pre-written the words, which I have already forgotten. They're joy, peace, voice, love, song. Good luck, Lee. So if you would like to stand, you're certainly welcome to. This song has the same melody as This Little Light of Mine, so you're going to know it already. We've done it in the services before. And I'm going to need somebody to, when we start moving, to bring the microphone back. Maybe you could do that. Not the stand, just the mic itself. When we start moving, I'll leave the mic in the back. Yeah. This joy that I have, the world didn't give to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Peace, this peace that I have, the world didn't give to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give to me. We are connected, beloveds. We are woven together through strings and pixels, strong and sturdy. Go in peace, and you be a blessing to this world. Yes. Amen. We are going to sing our postlude from the back here. And then after that, Carol Beth is going to go ahead and play a little piano. And I want to remind us that the silent candle time at the end is not a time for talking. It's actually a time for silent candles. I've been editing YouTube services, and all of a sudden it got really talky during that part, and people want their moment with the candles. So if you need to talk, you're welcome to leave, but if you'd like to stay, if you could honor the silence of that would be fabulous. Thank you. All right. So if you've ever heard Sesame Street, you've heard of Joe Raposo. It's maybe my life's theme song, I'm not sure. I will also point out that we don't sing happy, not sad, we sing happy and sad, all right? Sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing out good things and bad, sing out happy and sad, sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. La 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 la. Sing a song. Let the world sing along. Sing of love there could be. Sing for you and for me. Sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. Just sing a song. Okay.